Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I'm back after a week. I'm also back in Fukuoka. I was in Tokyo for 3 nights, so that was kind of long. And just got back last night and finally slept a little bit longer than I did in Tokyo. So I'm a little better now. Hi, Samurai Yoko. Yes. Hi. Do you guys know Joko's comedy show where in which he talked about Japanese, like he was talking about accents, and for Japanese people, Jokoi said like he was mocking Japanese people, and as for men, he was like, "Hi, Japanese." Like he came from the stomach. Hi, Japanese, and everybody was laughing. That was so cool. But as for women or girls, like he was saying, like, "Hey, meh, meh." He was doing that. That's cute. That was so Japanese. But anyway, hey, Ohio, Ohio. Okay, Yoko, did you watch any of the recent videos from Project Veritas? They got assaulted by a Pfizer director who spilled some big beans. Oh yeah, I think I know about it. Who the F thinks it's okay to lie to impress your date? Oh, I don't know about the last part. I think I know of the video that like some guy working for Pfizer, like he was talking about the vaccines and like oh they are experimenting something or some sort. But like you can't make what vaccines unless you actually have experiments. So I don't know, like I didn't look into it because I'm not too interested in like all the vaccine stuff, because I'm not an expert, and like I don't have any knowledge in science, and what I know is what I think about my body and how to protect my people. And as the thing about like being how do you say, like, in order to protect yourself, what's important is that people, especially me being conservative, what matters the most is that there are options for people to choose, like to choose however they want to live, like they should be able to do that. So like I guess it's okay that there are vaccine shots available, and as long as you can afford it. And also of course it's better if you keep um if you polish your science and knowledge and make it as safe as possible and so forth. And at the same time, if you have some kind of allergic reaction to that, then you should choose your own way, like not getting vaccinated and so forth. And the communication though between those two groups should be something that needs to be discussed, because some people don't want to live with the other group. So if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, lots of things happening. It's interesting though that what all the controversies happens in America doesn't happen here unless someone imports it. So like over here in Japan, we don't talk about vaccines. Basically we're talking about how effective actually it was, and everybody wears a mask here, whether they're conservative or leftists. And like it's so interesting that everything is politicized in the US. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I just see the difference. So that's very interesting. Greetings to all from the country of the living sky. We are fighting a war against Russia and not against each other. Bear Buck said, "Is the West de facto at war with Russia?" Yoko. We are fighting a war against Russia. The way that I take the war is that the war that we are fighting is the free world versus authoritarian regimes. So to me, this war is about freedom, and I'm a freedom fighter. So That's why I team up with all those who are oppressed by CCP, and especially right now, like Russia too. The CCP is backing Russia, so it's all like their side. It's all like colluding. So over here, we need to team up with each other. So what is de facto? I see that 現状とかだっけなんだっけ実際には de facto war with Russia. Um, mm. So yeah, I just feel like the world that we live in, the 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 foundation of the international society is threatened. How That's how I see that. Now we are like all those of us that are on the free world side. We have all these values, common values that we established over the years, and um, you know, even countries like mine, Japan, like we have such different values traditionally from the Western world, but we somehow came together and now we have the common values and we follow the same standards and international laws and so forth. And we finally were able to establish that. And now we were about to get the juice, the good results of all the hard work. But then now CCP, and of course on their side, CCP is the biggest guy, right? And CCP, North Korea, Russia, Iran, and all these countries, they started to team up, and they are dictators, in each country, and those dictators kind of respect each other, which is bad. Like, oh yeah, I'm a dictator. Oh, you're a dictator too. Yeah, let's be friends, and like don't interfere each other. Just beat those bad boys, and they are aiming at us, and that's how I see. And they, of course, ignore the international laws and all the common values that we have established on our side, and it's shaken. And that's the picture that I'm seeing. And let's see. This is from Thursday about America, Germany. Their main tanks will be supplied. Ukraine. I can't translate that. Iron. If I read it directly, iron fist against Russia. So like they're talking about it, and what I noticed recently is that I hear it from America, I hear it from experts from here, but this war in Ukraine will continue for a long, long time. A year from now, we will be still having this war, and that's something that I am realizing, like hearing that from experts. Like I somehow thought like maybe this will end very soon, but no, like Putin was wrong, but we were wrong too, that we thought like, oh, maybe like Russia will get depleted easily, but no, like CCP and other countries started to help them, and America also, like Biden administration is not strong enough to threaten Putin. If this was Trump administration, I know that things would have been so much different. Even though Putin did take Crimea back in the day, like I believe that was during Trump administration, right? Well, or was it before? Was it 2014 or so? Sorry, I don't remember. But anyway, still like Trump, like he was able to. We did have some concerns during the Trump administration as for how the administration was dealing with Kim Jong Un in North Korea, because they were so friendly that we were afraid that Trump would forget about us, and that he would only care about the long range missile, ballistic missile. So that was our concern. But however that whatever that meant, Kim Jong Un was very suppressed by Trump, and that was great. And the war in the world became from terrorism to they had a shift to China, and now we are all focusing on China, led by CCP. And so, and then Putin, we had our strong leader Shinzo Abe and Trump, and we were working closely against Putin too. So we had a good balance. It's the world is not about defeating each other, even though, for example, I want the current CCP regime to collapse. I want that, for us and also for for the world, but and for the people in China. But sorry, I got so distracted just now by my husband. He just made a sandwich for himself, and he was like, "Hey, look what I made." And he just stood in front of me, and I lost the track of my thoughts. Oh my gosh. But 忘れたやないかい、言おうとしてたことは。But yeah, so balance, yeah, balance is important, right? Don't you think that it's, even though I want CCP regime, for example, to collapse, but at the same time, like what's important, like in the end, is that we suppress them and that we take back our control. And like generally, if we are able to control the situation, then that's good. That's what I think. Oh, Yoko, you look super elegant as always. Thank you. Ohio, Ohio, hi. My husband says hi. Hello, hello. I have a question. What is your opinion of Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike? I liked Shintaro Ishihara also. I like LDP politician Minoru Kyuchi. Oh yeah. I don't know if you know him. He's cool. How do you know Mr. Kyuchi? He is really, really good. But at the same time though, like he's really good, but uh, what's interesting about politicians is that it's not all about political thoughts but political actions, especially inside of the party, and so on, meaning that what you do with people inside your party, like with your colleagues, because sometimes they need to form a group or have meetings, and you have to kind of work like kind of like a secretary level to that, like you have to organize things or adjust all the schedule of everyone and so forth. So that's another aspect of being a politician. So I don't know how the level of him in that way, but I do hear good things about him. Rafael san. How did you hear about Kyuchi, Mr. Kim Kyuchi? uh Oh wait, there's another comment from you. Minoru Kyuchi having leftist economic views, at least compared to US and British conservatives. I like his economics, actually. 左の経済的な見方をしていて、少なくともアメリカとイギリスの保守と比べたら。で、自分はその彼の言う経済が実際好きだと。Interesting. Yoko is easily distracted by food. I know. Food, sleep. What? Mr. Minoru Kyuchi's expertise, like his profession, is actually diplomacy. And he's very interested in this war against CCP. So he's, one of us, like very like key person. You just had a hamburger? Oh, tacos, Yoko. Tacos. I was only doing reading randomly and discovered Kyuchi-san. Oh, interesting. Interesting that, did you read in English? That's interesting that his name pops up like that. He's gonna be a minister soon, says my husband. そうなの? So probably not like a high level minister, but he will do that. because usually like all like good politicians, of course, they get promoted and experience being like a minister, and those who that are below that. So yeah. Taiwan is de facto an independent democratic country. Good example. Yes, it is. It is. Yes. Oh, McCarthy. Is it McCarthy is visiting Taiwan in April, right? So after Pelosi, it's McCarthy. That's. I wonder how China will react. I bet that they are doing diplomatic adjustments though beforehand, because the news is always already there that he will visit. So yeah, after Pelosi visited last year, right? Last year, China went crazy. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Do people in Japan talk how much the Ukrainian war changed the military power struggle in Asia? Huh, what do they think on how that affects Taiwan and Japan's situation? 日本にいる人々はウクライナ戦争が軍事的なパワーストラグルわかる？うん。うん。アジアでのその軍事的な戦いを変えたということを話しているのか。で、台湾と日本の状況をどのようにどういうふうに影響を与えるかっていうのを考えているのか。どう考えているか。Firstly, I'll translate. He's my brain, so.
日本人の考えはね、大国間戦争が起きるというね、ことにやっぱり日本人の多くは衝撃を受けた。
Japanese people were shocked by the fact that superpowers are now having a war.
つまりこれまでは、テロとの戦いとかね。
So far, it was the war against terrorism, for example.
もしくはアメリカがアフガニスタンとかアメリカがイラクとか小さい国をね。
Or America would go against どこって言ったっけ？Iraq or Afghanistan, so small countries, and so meaning against the countries that America could easily win against, even though it dragged. So Russia and Ukraine, those are two big countries. So we were shocked that those big powers would go into war against each other. So like Japanese people or most Japanese people did not expect that a war like this would happen. So right now, so Japanese people felt that it's dangerous, that like wars like this can happen. So of course in Asia as well. But before that, super chat, thank you for your super chat. Always thank you so much. This is what I do, and this like support like this helps me so much. Thank you. And if you are watching after this live stream, there's a super thanks button, so you can still send super chat like comments too. So okay, and そんな。
だからまあ日本はね、台湾有事に備えて防衛費を一気に増やす決断ができた。
So because of that, Japan was able to, like revise our defense documents and last year at the end of last year in December, and that like we are changing our defense system for the better, because we saw what happened in Ukraine. So of course it's a big thing that affects our politics here.
とにかく日本の防衛政策というのは過去70年の戦後の防衛政策を去年大きく一番70年間で一番のね激変が起きたんだ去年。
So the change, like
それぐらい大きなチェンジなんだ。
So the change that we had militarily last year, by revising our national security documents, is that it happened after, like, we changed that after 70 years. So it was such a big deal for us.
まあそう
Mm.
で2つ目、やっぱり、
Second thing is
やっぱりこのなんだろうな、要するにロシアにね、勝たせたらいけないんだよな。
we must not.
それは習近平に悪いね。
We must not let Russia win in this war. Why? Because Xi Jinping of CCP in China is watching this. That he would, if Putin wins this war in Ukraine, then Xi Jinping would learn the lesson that, like, we can win, right? So that's something that we must stop from happening. So Xi Jinping is desperate to unify Taiwan. And so if he can win, if he can calculate his win, then he will go into the war. So we must make him calculate which with the result of him losing in a war, so that he doesn't go into the war.
だからその意味でアメリカがね、やっぱアジアからね、力をね、割いてもらわないと困る。
So for that, the U.S. So for that, the U.S. must focus on Asia, even though right now they're so, they're keeping busy with Ukraine. So, but that's not good for East Asian situation. So America must focus here. Yes. そんぐらいですかね。I agree with defense increase even to at least 3% of GDP, but I am wary of Kishida's tax increase. Yeah, he should use government's bonds with taxes. もうむしろ 3% まで上げてもいいんじゃないかと思うぐらいだけれども、とにかく岸田さんの増税、路線にうんざりしていると。We agree 100%. Do you think that people in your country are ready mentally to return to being a country with an active military rather than just the defense force? 日本は精神的に、軍事的にアクティブで、今はその守りディフェンスする自衛の国だけれども、それが元に戻る準備ができているのかと、アクティブな軍事とかで。The answer is no, but we are gradually shifting.
だけど多分外に出ていて軍隊を出すことができないのはディフェンスオンリーだと思う。
But even if we go back to like a normal nation with military force and so on, it's going to be very hard for us to send our troops to overseas and actually work as military forces, if you know what I mean. Because we are still like mentally, we are brainwashed to think that defense is what we need to do, not go overseas and start wars and so on. You hear about Israel launched drones against Iran? I think I did. イスラエルのドローン
イラン
イランに対して
イランじゃイラン、今イランって
イランって書いてあるよ。
ウクライナに
イランに対してイスラエルがドローンを発射したことを聞いているか。
は聞いてない。
Oh, he says no. No?
今日新聞読んでないです。ちょっとこの2、3日
なんか、
出張してたから。
Yeah, we were in Tokyo for a while, so I don't... なんかでもなんか新聞になかったっけ？ドローン、どこの違う、あれは北朝鮮のやつを見たのか。いつの見たんだろう。When was that? Sorry, I'm getting confused. Hey Yoko, I'm going to visit Japan in October for a couple of weeks. Nice. Any suggestions on where I should visit? It depends on what you want to see. Like, do you want to go to the city or do you want to see traditional stuff? Because if you want to see, like, of course, the advanced version of Japan, then you should definitely go to Tokyo and visit all our landmarks, like what's the name? Skytree? Skytree だっけ? Skytree and all the, like recent stuff. But if you go to Kansai area, like Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, and so on, then you can see all the really, really old temples and shrines um, and architecture, especially Kyoto, still preserve all the buildings as they were back in the day, and so that'd be cool. But you can also come to Fukuoka too. Our city is very compact, and you can experience both the city and the nature and good food and everything. Like in like just if you go hop on a train you can go anywhere, but if you go and like it's anywhere you go inside of our country that you can just use our transportation like trains or bullet trains or whatever, like it will just take you to anywhere you want to go. Oh man. さっきの木内さんのやつ高市さんを応援してたのまで知ってるわ、すごいわ。You even know that Mr. Kyuchi was
日本人じゃない
supporting ラファエルさんだよ。
日本人だ。
He's calling you a Japanese. Interesting. Do you or your husband have political ambitions in Japan beyond being like thinkers and personalities? Where was the other? I think you rephrased that. Uh, あれさっきなんか選挙に出ないのかってとこ書いてた気がするんだけど。Oh yeah, here. Do you guys want to actually run for offices, etc.？ 立候補したいか？
いや、ない。
My husband says no. He has actually tried many, many times before, and he has never won. He was good though, but he was like he doesn't. My husband has tried elections before, like city level, and also national diet member level, but each time like sometimes he had to do it for the party that we were supporting, just to sell the name of the party. Sometimes we do that here, but when he wanted to really, really win, he tried it in his local hometown, of course, because he's genuine, right? Like he grew up somewhere, right? And then he wanted to represent that place. So, but the thing is that that area that he's from is it's very, very like the election war is very aggressive, and it's really difficult to for like new people to win. Let's Yeah, it's like an establishment type of thing, I guess, like the local version, because yeah. And also, you need to belong to LDP. Like, if you want to win locally, the LDP, our governing party, is very strong. So people usually go, like, unless if you are not a leftist and conservative leaning, then you go to LDP and become a candidate from that party. But my husband, didn't want to belong to that party because basically, just like neocons in Republican parties, there are lots of naming only people, and also there are lots of leftists inside of the party, and he finds the problems of in the party that because it's Shinzo Abe changed the image of LDP for the better. Now we assume that the party is more conservative than we thought, but it was that Shinzo Abe was very unique, like him alone, and just a couple, like several members of LDP. But the conservative community of LDP is very small, just like the Republican Party. And so the party is just, generally speaking, it's not even conservative, and they have been the problem of Japan, like, for a long time. So he didn't want to run from that party. And of course, it's not good for, like, election strategy, because it's you can't win if you do that. But he's just a genuine, sincere person, true patriot. So he didn't want to sell his soul to all the bad stuff. So, and me, I can't even wake up in the morning, so I'm not gonna. I can't. My body cannot tolerate all this, like, work burdens. It's so bad. Like, because I'm a hardworking person, and if there are goals, then I will make effort so much. Like, people, especially when I work with foreign people, they tell me that I'm an overachiever, that they are overwhelmed by the work that I put into. But because I guess because I try so hard, like, I stop caring about my body, and I crash, basically. So I'm an artistic type, I guess, and not really meant for politics. So anyway, I talk so much. Every new military technology the U.S. develops in Ukraine will get used in 10 times in Asia later. That's true. ウクライナで使ってるアメリカの軍事的な技術は、アジアで10倍ぐらい使われる。後に。Yeah, that's true. That's true. Ukraine is now asking for F-16 fighter jets from the United States. Is this America's war? Why can't they buy their own fighter jets with the 100 billion we gave them? Oh, separately. この間お金あげたじゃん、予算つけたやん。で、さらに F16 を今頼んでるの、ウクライナが。って書いてる人がいますね。What? F16 は日本にあるのは何？ In Japan we have F50. In Japan we have F35. で、我々欲しかったのは何？それはもう22だけど、それはもう、long time ago ね。Oh yeah, I see the news. We will get F-16s. Ukraine aims for NATO's fighter jets after winning battle for Western tanks. Oh. So even though if my husband's memory is correct, America has sold F-16 to Taiwan before. Like, but but still, America's. Sorry, my laptop is kind of freezing, but am I okay in this stream? But still, Sorry for the internet. ちょっと待って、ネットが今遅い。Am I back? Am I back? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the U.S. If my husband's memory is correct, the U.S. has sold F-16 to Taiwan, even though Taiwan is not an alliance of the U.S. officially. But still, America sold F-16, not give them. They didn't give them. They sold them. So that's a different story, I guess. Hmm. Yoko, did you hear that Japan and Netherlands will restrict chip exports to China? 日本とオランダが制限するチップ、なんていうんだっけ、半導体の輸出を中国に出してっていうニュースがあるの？It's like, oh, that's that's a good thing. 日本 Sorry, I was in Tokyo and I haven't followed the news for like a week. Oh, I see that. Like from 2 days ago and also yesterday. へえ、日米オランダ半導体規制で協議。対中輸出制限で合意、米報道。だって。Cool beans. That's great. Man, I was friends with Dutch people back in when I was in university. They were so funny and then down to earth, and like they were our best friends. I guess like it's interesting that like history is very interesting because uh, I become close with those that are from the countries that my ancestors were being friends with. You know what I mean? Like I never get close with the countries that our ancestors were fighting against. It's like I don't want to be discriminative, but let's just yeah. Yes. Starting wars is usually bad, yes. And I really hate Franklin Roosevelt, because he lied to your people. Of course, he was a Democrat, so he lied that he will not send the boys to the battlefront, but he did. Pushing the responsibility on us Japanese, but it was not how it happened. Yeah. If Japan reinstates its military, all I ask is that you keep producing fine anime. Yes. Yes. Anime is a good weapon. It's interesting that even Chinese people love our anime. There are lots of like very passionate fans inside of China, like in China, mainland China. Self-defense is preferable. It's better to not get involved in craziness overseas. Yeah. Like seriously, like with developed countries like America or Australia or European countries, I feel very close, but Middle East, Africa, and so on, we feel like Japanese people feel very far, that we don't even like culturally interact like as deeply. So that's very interesting. For America, like Americans really like Middle East, like interfere so much in Middle East, but not us. So but that's part of the problem though, because I feel that I just published an article on Japan Forward, about our financial support. Not only financial, but we built water systems in Dharamsala, India, to support Tibetans living there, and it was such a historic a moment for us. That it was the first time that we helped Tibetan refugees living in India. So that's cool, right? Because it's about actually the war against CCP, you know. So, but I realized that all the other countries like America and also China, they're investing so much overseas, like in Africa. What's the word that 最近の東南アジアの呼び方なんだっけ、なんか投資するグローバルサウスか。東南アジアあれあれどアフリカのサウスのことを全部。and also なるほどね。And also global south. I associate it with Southeast Asia for some reason because it's south, but global south. And like people, all the other countries are shifting their not shifting, but they're focusing on investment in all these developing countries or areas. And my country, Japan, is not very active. Like we are on the train, but that is because America put us on the train, to work together. So that's good. Like I personally thank America for letting us be on the same page as you, but like it's not proactive. Japanese government needs to be proactive with strategy, but they're just like our military strategy. Like our leaders are very passive and not proactive. My husband, on the other hand, by the way, he's very proactive. He thinks of all the strategies that Japan needs to have, and he actually pushes our national diet members to do a certain thing, and it does happen. He's working behind the scenes. China knows it though, and CCP has actually written articles about my husband before. He's on the blacklist of CCP too because it's available online. But yeah, like behind the independence of those countries that are oppressed by CCP, like there's this man, like like Japan is trying to separate China, right? Like the current China is not actual China. It's all the colonized states around China by China. So Japan or Japanese conservatives like my husband and I, we want to separate that and make them independent. And China knows it, like what we are doing. So yeah, they have written articles about my husband. Russia has ruled out talks with Japan over fishing on disputed islands. Wait. The gray cat is so cute. Gray cat. Cat って言われた。He's a dog. He's a Shiba dog. But thank you. He's so cute. My best friend. My husband is my second best friend. This is my best friend. It's so cold, so like I put some blanket around him, but his blanket it has actually a face too, or a body. Yes. I love dogs. I love Shiba dogs. I'm actually visiting my parents today, so that's why I need to end this stream in 20 minutes. Yes, I need to go and give them souvenirs from Tokyo because we were able to buy some stuff with the points by traveling. Like we have a system now, like currently in Japan, that if you travel and apply for a certain like I don't know the procedure, my husband does it all, but like if you travel then you get points and you can use the points, like the points that you earn by paying for the travel. You get the points and you use that on the areas that you visit, but the points are only something that you can only use for a certain period of time in the area that you are visiting. So definitely, like, you have to buy something, right? But it's not like buy, like, you basically get something free for free, right? So like we had to use the points. So we were like, oh, we can get souvenirs. So that's what we did. Nara Park is fun. I like to feed in the deer. Those deers are so scary that they come to you without fear. That they are so used to humans that they they come up to you, wanting some senbei. I don't know what it's called, like a rice cake. It's not rice cake. What is that? I don't even know what to say that. Um, I heard that there's a lost city inside Mount Fuji. Oh yeah, Jukai. The How do you say that in English? It's a sea of trees. No, ocean trees. Forest ocean. Wait, sea of trees. Oh, just that. Okay. There's Jukai. Um, like beneath, like lots of trees. Um, at the bottom of Mount Fuji, and people go there sometimes to commit a suicide. And there was this big YouTuber from I believe he was American. What was his name? I don't even Rogan Paul or something like that. Like somebody um actually made a video, like he recorded or filmed the scene of a situation and put and laughed about it and put that up on YouTube, and that became a controversy. And yeah, so that that was on the news too. That was horrific, but yeah, people do that sometimes. And I guess I think there are documentaries about it too. Yeah, it's a Yeah, we hear that a lot. The problem on Mount Fuji right now is that there are lots of tourists there, that want to climb, and and I know this man who's a climber, he has gone to does he 野口さんってエベレストとか行ったんだっけ？行ってない。Noguchi Ken. No, like there's this man named Ken Noguchi, and he's a famous what you call a hiker or tozanka climber, just climber, mountaineer. So he climbs mountains and he's been to the Everest many times. But he also アルピニストってなんだ？ Right, right. アルピニストだったね。アルピニストとは英語。Alpinist. Okay, surprise. Um, Oh, Alps の、なるほどね。But anyway, so there's this Japanese guy, very famous climber, and he cleans mountains now too. Like it's his side projects. And Mount Fuji is actually dirty, and that's something that he heard from his foreign friends, and he was shocked. So he started to clean Mount Fuji, and he complains now that there are lots of bottles, like you drink water or something and you have a small bottles, right? And then people pee in that bottle and leave that in the mountain. And then, people like very kind-hearted people like him pick that up to clean the mountain. And he's like, the smell is just so bad and it's so bad for the environment. And so he complains a lot. It's a problem of us though, but yeah, there are lots of side problems. Oh, super chat, thank you. Your favorite castle in Japan? Oh, I think I have the attachment of Kumamoto Castle just because I went there many times, when I was younger and also when I was in university or so. And also they were affected by the earthquake, but I believe they recovered too, like for the part that was affected. So I have my attachment to Kumamoto Castle. I also have a cool picture when I was younger, like posing in front of a castle, and I look so badass, So I like that picture. So I have that. It's not really about the castle itself. It's like me. It's bad, but I also um I also like the one in Kitakyushu. Like in my prefecture, there's a castle, and it's like you can go up, of course, and yeah. And I think that I would be probably proud of Fukuoka Castle, like my local castle, but that we only have remains, so I never know what it's like. I've also been to Himeji Castle. It was good, and Osaka Castle, but those two castles didn't really, I don't know, have impact on me for some reason. Maybe because I was too young. But 好きなお城ありますか？
特別ないけど、かっこいいのは姫路城とかね。
He says Himeji Castle is cool.
熊本城もかっこいい。
熊本いいよね。Yeah, 熊本 is cool. And Himeji.
姫路は綺麗なんだよね。
Himeji is beautiful.
熊本
そうだよね。
城はかっこいい。
Yeah. So Himeji is like beautiful, and Kumamoto is like badass. Yeah. Hiroshima is a good visit. Learn a lot of the Peace Park. Oh yes, there's a fire too, still from back in the World War II. あれって原爆の日だよね。炎があるじゃん、広島に。From the when Hiroshima was attacked by the atomic bomb, they kept the fire, or what you call like a flame, and it's still burning there in Hiroshima. 福岡はタラ取れないのになんでからし明太子が有名なんだ？
からし明太子というものを作った、編み出した人が福岡の人だから。
Because somebody made that からし明太子。
それはワールドウォー2の直後ぐらいの。
Right after the World War II.
で、
からし明太子、待って、英語でこれ。日本語のあれで来ちゃう。Mustard 明太子 Spicy Pollock Roll Cod Raw. So it's like fish eggs basically, and it's seasoned very well, and it's our local food. Mr. Kawahara of Fukuya.
がその作り方のコピーライトなんつうのかな、権利。
コピーライト。So that 知的財産じゃないけど intellectual property of so Mr. Kawahara of Fukuya came out with a recipe for the fish eggs, and he didn't occupy the intellectual property, and instead he spread that recipe. So then all the people started to make one. So we have several stores, and it became our local food. Yeah, same for ramen too. The ramen story that we watched. Like Fukuoka is known for tonkotsu ramen. Tonkotsu meaning pork bones. So basically pork, right? The taste is pork. But one day, someone was cooking and the ramen in the way that they were cooking at the time, but something went wrong. They overcooked the soup, and it became very, very, very like deep, like very deep, right? Like if you cook too much, it's like very intense, like I mean, not intense, but tensed quality. But it was so good that the person that made a mistake didn't occupy the recipe to himself again, and then instead he had all the people like what you call that, I forget, apprentice, so apprentices. He had lots of people, and he educated them with the recipe of ramen, and then it spread here and it became our food too. So yeah, it's amazing that people do that. But sometimes you need to do that, like instead of occupying what you come up with, you spread a little bit so that those people become your rivals, so that you can compete and then the industry develop or prosper. So that's a good way to do that. Yoko planning to become a new shogun. No plans yet. Yeah. Oh man, I need to go in 5 minutes. Hmm. Hi, Yoko. Would you happen to know if there are any homestay families in Fukuoka that can take me in when I come visit? I checked and only Tokyo has some there. Any suggestions? もうホームステイを福岡でしようと思うけど、どっか受けないかな。東京にはいくつかあるんだろうけどって。
知らん。ホームステイのテレセンク考えたこともないけど、ネットで探す。
うん。
俺らの情報しかない。あ
Yeah.
るんじゃないの
My husband's guess is that there should be some, but we are afraid we don't know any. Yeah.
考えたことは。
Yeah, we've never. Yeah. Does it have to be homestay? Because we have Appa hotels. Appa hotel is very cheap, like very small though, but it's the minimum style, but it's very comfortable. And there are three or so newly built. Um, um, it was built, I think, within the 3 years, past 3 years, and yeah, there are lots of hotels. Yoko, are you a secret ninja? I was. When I was like 3 or 4, I used to have. Do you know what furoshiki is? Furoshiki. Furoshiki is just furoshiki, right? Like wrapping cloth wrapper. So basically, like back in the day, Japanese people were using just some cloth to wrap our stuff to carry around, like a lunchbox or whatever goods that you have. Instead of a bag, we had a cloth and fold it and carry around. But when I was like 3 or 4 or something like that, I used to use that cloth around my face and a bit of my body. And then also I had a toy sword, and then I folded some origami and made shuriken. Well, how do you say that? Shuriken is shuriken. I don't know what's dart throwing star. So basically like a blade, but it looks like a star, and then it goes right. So I used to fold origami paper and make that and do this with a furoshiki, like a clothes around my face and so on. That's how I was. That's what I was playing with when I was very young. Yes, I have a picture of myself wearing a diaper and then some just random clothes, and then I have a sword here, like sword is in my belt, and I look so goofy, but I was such a fighter and warrior even back then. Yes. Okay. It's nice knowing the Japanese viewpoint about these things. Thank you. Yes, if you ask me questions, I answer, and this is a weekly live stream, so you can come back anytime, like in on Saturdays, your time probably. So you don't get close with Americans. No, I I I get along with Americans the most, of course. Like I'm so Americanized, but people misunderstand the history of Japan and the US. our countries didn't have to go into war. It was just trapped. We were both trapped, and we learned the lesson though. But like, there were CCP type of people working, and there were also, Roosevelt himself. He wanted to go into war, and so there were lots of, things happening behind the scenes. But as like generally, if you speak Japan and the US, we were nice to each other. I mean, we were threatened by the cannon though back in the day, like 1853 with Perry. But like, still, like, our relationship was healthy, and we didn't have to fight, but we did. And so, as for that, like, Americans are so good. Like, I think that Americans are, I don't want to say, but hated, I must say, by the world, but simultaneously loved the most. It's Americans are just they're so open, basically. Like, Americans are open. Like, look at Japanese people. We don't even change our facial expression, and we are so, like, very secretive, and we don't open up our heart. But Americans are just, smile at each other on the street and start talking to strangers, and like, it's very open and very fun and unique, and like very what's the word of, like, funny. Like, people make jokes easily, and satire is part of the culture, and like, I don't know, very easy to communicate with, and also verbalize everything, so it's easy to understand what you're thinking. Japanese people, it's hard to read. I can even read other Japanese people because sometimes they hide their feelings way too well. You know what I mean? But Americans, man. Anyway, we would like to see Japan deploy some Gundams. We know you can feel that. I know. I really want our time to come. Doraemon? Doraemon era is. When is Doraemon? Man, I need to go. It's been an hour. But Doraemon Jidai. Doraemon. When was Doraemon? Isn't it like 2000 something? 2112. 2112 or something like that. So like, we should have dry monsoon too. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It's very difficult to get Japanese food in Africa. Oh, we should have our foods there. They would love that. Japan should keep an active eye on Africa and what the China is doing there. Yes, I know, I know. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yes, yes. He knew about Pearl Harbor, yes. Because they decoded. They knew. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Shiba Inu. Yes, Shiba Inu. Yes, this is Shiba Inu. It's not talk. Okay, guys, I need to. Oh, Logan Paul. Logan Paul. Yes, Logan Paul. Man, I need to go. I love Asian eyes. I have a pair of almond eyes that makes me looks Asian. Cool, cool, cool. I like. I wanted to have like wide double lids though, eyelids though. It's my eyes are so random. Like, sometimes it's almond, sometimes it has a line above my eyes, and weird. Hi, good to catch you live. Yay! Thank you for coming. I need to go though, but that was the way 20 minutes ago or something. I read way too slowly. Are people in Japan against the vaccine? No. Only a tiny bit of people, like a public. What? It's not even 10%, I think. Like, I don't know. The majority just take the shots and we're good. But there are some people, especially on the right side, that import the theory of the right wings in America, or I guess conservative people are against it too. But that's Americans are opposing to vaccines based on freedom, and so on too, and transparency, because they can't trust the company and what the administration is doing. So it's like very complex, right? Why the reason why conservatives and right wings in America are opposing to the vaccine. It's very political. But over here in Japan, we don't have that problem, you know. But some people import all the problems from another country to make it seem like, oh, this is what is going on in the world. And so yeah, that does happen, but not a big percentage, if you know what I'm trying to say. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Did you see that Iran was bombed tonight? No, I didn't. I was in Tokyo for 3 nights, and I just got back last night, so I'm not keeping up with the information. And I need to read like there's literally a pile of newspapers, and we haven't checked the news much at all. Okay. Okay, just scrolling down to see. uh uh, uh People in Japan to be very friendly. Yeah, Japanese people are friendly in bars and so on. And usually we are very nice to foreign people because it's very majority of us are, of course, like Japanese people, and it's fun, right? To see somebody from another continent and so on. Is there thank you for a super chat. Is there a way to do a faster chat by yoga? Oh, what do you mean? A faster chat? I'm using StreamYard, and it doesn't, like, I need to scroll up and down to see the comment. It doesn't refresh. Like, I could do that too, but then I don't want to miss. So chat is slow tonight, huh? Like you can't see the chat on YouTube is what you're saying? I don't know. Hmm. Or am I reading way too slowly? I can't tell. Hmm. I went to Chinatown in Yokohama and noticed more Taiwan flags displayed than previous festivals. Is that also the case in your area? 横浜の中華街に行ったら台湾の旗がも前よりあった。うん、あなたのエリアはこっちないもんな。We don't have Chinatown, so I don't know. But like here in Fukuoka, but that's interesting. Mm. Anyway, I need to go. It was automatically scrolling. Oh, no, I look at all the comments that I receive on StreamYard, and then I scroll back and forth and just select. And I'm literally I'm pushing this button to see. That's what I'm doing. So yes, it's not automatic. I'm a hard worker. I read and check, and then I'm like this one. So yeah. Japan should ban TikTok. I agree. Something that I need to do. Okay. Anyway, I need to go to my parents' house, so I need to go. Thank you for those who gave me super chat. Thank you so much. I'm also on Patreon, even though it's not active. But if you can monthly support me, then use Patreon. Um, and as I said, I just got back from Tokyo and with my husband, and we stayed there for 3 nights. And of course, all we did was political activities. And I was meeting very important people, from Asia and also National Diet members. Man, you have no idea how many doors we knocked on to give information and so on. It's lots of like I guess part of what we do, like we do all kinds of activities together, like my husband and I. But uh, one thing that we do is we do lobbying type of thing too, to talk to national diet members to explain what's going on. And and so on. So that's very like like it consumes my energy, like a physical energy. So it's tiring. Like mentally I'm happy and I feel very alive, but at the same time I'm like, I'm so tired, I can't walk anymore. Can you purchase a samurai sword in Japan? I think you can. You probably can, but very expensive though, the real one. What? It scrolled back up some for some reason. Yoko, stay! No, I need to go. Thank you. Have a great day, Yoko. Thank you. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming. I'm basically speaking to myself here, so I really appreciate that every single one of you that comes to my stream. Yes. Tell Doggo at your parents' house hello. Oh yes, I will. I will do that. I'll meet my taro. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I need to go. Oh, yes. If I didn't take your no pick your comment tonight, please come back in a week. I'll be live next weekend too. So yes, thank you so much. I will see you next week. Thank you. Okay, have a good night or good day, guys. Okay.